Hello, welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to talk about Danish numbers and maybe about some numbers from other languages. And first of all, let's count from 1 to 20. And so it, which is basically, this means 1, but I'm going to use en, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And when we get to 20, which means 20, that's where kind of the fun begins. Or no, I'm not gonna say fun, but where things get just like tiny bit complicated. That's another similarity between Danish and German, because in German you say two-digit numbers backwards, and that basically means that you have the you say the second number in front of the first number. If you have, in English you have 22 and so 20 and 2, and that's kind of normal, but in German you say 2 and 20, so that would be 22. And in Danish it's the same thing, so you say 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and then you get to 30, which is 30. And then you repeat the same thing, so you basically say 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, and then you get to 39, and then you get to 4. And then you get to 40, and 4 is 40. So you get 4, 41, 42, 43, 3. No, I think I just said 3. So 34, 44, 45, yeah, 45, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, and then you get to halvfems. Nope, you don't get to halvfems, and that's where the second tricky part about Danish numbers starts, which is the fact that you have three numbers that are they look very similar. Like the first part is pretty much the same, and that is 50 is halvtreds, and then 70 is halvfjerds, and 90 is halvfems. So like you can, I confuse them. You just saw that. I get them confused quite often, at least for now. I try to like try not to, but it's difficult. So you have halvtreds, which is 50, and this basically means that you have, let me remember it. So halvtreds is, I believe, is 2.5 times 20. I'm not gonna get into like the whole logic about it, but the thing is that halvtreds essentially means 2.5 times 20, which is a bit confusing. Like, why couldn't you just, stay like Norwegian and Swedish, where you have just regular 50? Like, why not? Why do we have to say 2.5 times 20? And halvtreds is actually a shortened version, because the full version would be like halvtreds in sinstuve. Yeah, halvtreds means halvtreds in stue essentially means 2.5 times 20. So you have halvtreds, and then you again say 51, 52, 53. Yeah, I'm starting to really, like, my articulation really fails me. So you have 51, 52, 53, 54, and so on. And then you get to 60, and 60 is tres, and that essentially means 3 times 20. I'm not gonna tell you the full version, but the logic behind is that like 60 is 3 times 20. And yet again, why couldn't we just say it like Norwegians and Swedish people who say, you know, they have just 60. I don't even remember how to say 60 in Swedish. I used to know that, but I don't remember how to say it. But I do remember tres, so that's good because I'm learning Danish. And yeah, so we have tres, and of course you have like en og tres, to og tres, tre og tres, and then 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69. And then you have halvfjerds, which is, as you can guess, is 70, and this is translated as 3.5 times 20. So if you ever learn French, you may not be as surprised by this because some French numbers are also a bit tricky, because 70 in French is 70, which means 60 and 10. And why couldn't they come up with something easier? And they also have like 71 would be 71, which is 60 and 11. But yeah, so you have halvfjerds in Danish, getting back to Danish. So you have halvfjerds, and which is 3.5 times 20. And then yet again you say 71, 72, 73, and so on. And then you get to 80, and 80 is fierce. And this might sound familiar because we have fire, fyr, and then fierce. So fire is 4, fyr is 40, and fierce is 80. Had to think about that really. So fierce is 80, and as you may have guessed, yet again, fierce is actually translated to 4 times 20 because, well, 80 is essentially you have to multiply 20 by 4. So yeah, there is logic behind that, and it is similar in French because in French you have 80, and that is also translated as 420s. So 80. And you say 81, perhaps, and 82. Again, perhaps. I don't remember French much. Like, I do remember French numbers because of their craziness or oddness, but yeah. Back to Danish. You have fierce, and then fierce. Yeah, so you have 80, which is fierce, and a fierce, to fierce, tre fierce, and so on. And the last one on this list is halvfems. I still have to remind myself and think like, okay, so halvtres is 50 and halvfjerds is 70, and I think that halvfems is actually 90. But for some reason, because of their of fem, you know, halvfems, because of this whole fem thing, because fem means 5, and I'm like, wait, is it 50? But it's actually not 50, it's actually 90, because 90 is, I believe it's 4.5. Yes, it's 4.5 times 20. So yeah, but that is a bit confusing, you know, aside from the fact that you actually have to like flip 2-digit numbers backwards, and if somebody you know, tries to dictate their number to you, their phone number or something, and they say 37 as like 37, and you're like, hang on a minute, like your first instinct would be actually to write down 7, but then you're like, oh wait, no, I have to flip them back, so you know, you have to actually write down 37 and not 73. And I think that can be a bit tricky in a way. Yes, you have to say en og halvfems, to halvfems, tre og halvfems, and so on. And that is basically it. And then you have hundred. I know that I'm not pronouncing correctly, but I'm again working on it. So 100 is not like 100, 100, 100, 100. 100 or something like that is 100. I'm still trying to nail that word down. It poses some challenges for me for some reason. Probably because of the ending. Because like 100 is okay, but 100 is like what? And I also know 1000, which is 1000, quite similar to English. So 1000, 100 is 100. So, what do you think about Danish numbers? Are they as confusing to you as they are for me? And have you ever come across a quite weird or peculiar numerical system when you started to learn a new language or started learning a new language? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. If you have any questions, please ask them. If you have any ideas for my future videos, please share them. If you'd like me to cover anything, please let me know. I would love to oblige. Hit that like button if you like the video and maybe consider subscribing, maybe? Yeah. I will see you next time. Ha det godt. Hej hej!